It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two great elementary schools playing our game, one of whom will go on to play Laurel for a chance to advance to the quarterfinals. Let's meet the teams right now. First from Andrew Jackson, we say hello to Khalil Gary, Tyer Millage, and Alonzo Bethea. And from Highland Park Elementary School, here's the team: Liam Hennigan, John Bridges, and Gregory Lowry. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty with the easier questions on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones, 15, 20, and 25, the toughest question in each of those categories. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these schools will come back to play Laurel for the chance to advance in our competition. Let's make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. Tyer, would you try that buzzer? Looks like it's in good shape. Good luck to you, Alonzo and Khalil. And John, would you try the green team? It too seems to be in good working order. Good luck to you, Greg and Liam. Are we ready? All right, let's do this thing. We go alphabetically. May the better team win. A before H. So Andrew Jackson, let's play the bowl. Give me a category and a number.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, bacteria to date have eaten 200,000 tons of oil that was spilled 3 years ago in this body of water. Andrew Jackson.
Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico, absolutely right. Remember the fiasco that was? It kept pouring out. They tried to stop it with golf balls and everything else. Finally, staunched the flow of that oil. Good start. Go Red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, if you have a house near a lake with lots of trees, you've got to protect those trees, oftentimes from this largest American rodent. Highland Park.
Squirrel.
Not a squirrel. This largest American rodent might threaten your trees if you're living close to the water.
A mole.
A beaver. The beavers gnaw on the trees and they knock them down, they eat them, and they make those dams. Go again, Red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Team, scientists have actually grown one of these sense organs in the laboratory. Hope to transplant it to a person next year. It's the same sense organ that the artist Vincent van Gogh famously cut off. Highland Park.
Ear.
An ear, yes. He cut his own ear off. So a transplanted ear that was actually grown in a petri dish. Amazing. Try again, green. Nice answer. 60 all. John?
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this question, teams. This plant is very odd. It lives in New Zealand, and you notice that its flowers are drooping down and almost touching the ground. In fact, this plant is one of the few that plants its own what? Andrew Jackson.
Seeds.
Seeds, absolutely right. It plants its own seeds. Thanks, Alonzo, for your assist on that. With that, you've got a lead. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, water in a dam, in a lake behind a dam, drops down, not just because of a lack of rainfall, but because of this changing of the liquid to a vapor. What process is that, Highland Park?
Evaporation.
Evaporation, yeah. It loses water to evaporation each and every day. All right, 70 all. Tied up again. Go, green.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, This meteorological phenomenon, depending how strong it is, has names like a gust, a breeze, a gale, or Highland Park?
Wind.
Wind is right. Let me caution you, please don't blurt out answers until we acknowledge you. No, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but just try to remember that. All right, wind it is, 10-point lead, go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, Robin Roberts from Good Morning America is on sick leave. She's being treated for a strange and rare disease. They're getting this soft material from inside her sister's bones and extracting stem cells from it. What do we call that soft tissue inside of a bone, Highland Park?
Marrow?
Marrow, yes. The bone marrow is the source of these perhaps life-saving stem cells for Robin Roberts. Wish her well. Go again, green. Nicely done.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, now that the regular refs are back in the NFL, one sports writer said, now these striped equines are out of the corral. What striped equines am I talking about? Andrew Jackson.
Zebras?
Yeah, the zebras are back. Good. Nice answer. Because of the black and white stripes they wear. Andrew Jackson.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, back in 1980, the United States said that we American kids could no longer keep little baby green turtles because they carried what S-initial bacterium that can make you sick. Highland Park.
Salmonella?
Salmonella, absolutely right. And those baby turtles are back again because they walk through their own waste, and then we handle the turtles and put our hands in our... Not a good situation. All right, go green.
Let's get physical 15.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, the Mars rover is being very busy. Among its many duties, it's taking pictures of these celestial events where one heavenly body moves in front of another so you can't see it. What are they called? Highland Park.
Eclipse?
Eclipses. They're taking pictures of eclipses from the Martian surface. And Tyra is shaking her head. She says, yeah, I knew that one. I knew that one. Just didn't jump in fast enough. 75, 140. Come on, guys, get some more points here. Go, John.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, they say that this green thing is greener on the other side. Andrew Jackson.
Grass.
The grass is greener on the other side. If you're a woman, it's especially greener because women see green more acutely than men do. Go red. Oh, the buzzer has rung, which means we've come to the end of the first round. You played very well. We'll be back with more Science Bowl and some introductions of these fine students when Science Bowl continues. We'll be right back.
Diet and exercise are never easy. Then again, neither is dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Most of these deaths could be prevented. Please, talk to your doctor about your risk for diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving.
I always thought being a good mother meant raising my baby myself. But when I got pregnant, I realized I wasn't ready to be a parent. So I did something I thought I could never do. I chose adoption. It was really hard, but I know my baby is with a loving family and has a very bright future.
Sometimes choosing adoption is being a good mother. Visit us at ichooseadoption.org.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. 2 great elementary schools playing our game today. I hope you're playing along and trying to keep up with them. They're all just terrific. Let's find out a little bit more about each one of them. Let's go to Andrew Jackson. And Tyre, tell us about Andrew Jackson. Are you an academy?
Yes.
You are an academy. So what grades do you have at your school?
K through 8.
K through 8. And all of you are in what grade?
6.
You're all 6th grade. Who's the principal at Andrew Jackson, Tyre?
Dr. Richardson.
Wonderful. Out there rooting for you. And Mr. Craig Fairclough is your wonderful sponsor.
Yes,
and I know
good
he's been
sponsor.
working hard, not just this year, but in past years. We appreciate all the work that he does. And Tyre, any alternates on your team?
Yes, Taryn Millage, my sister.
Your sister will be out, so we'll meet her in just a few moments along with Mr. Fairclough. What is it about Jackson that makes it a really special place to be? Why would you want to go to Andrew Jackson? What do you tell people?
Because our school, the teachers make work fun, and you still learn from it.
It's fun, and you learn at the same time. Can't get any better than that. You want to go to school then. Tell me about yourself, Tyre. Someday, what do you see yourself doing?
I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah, we were talking about those programs on TV about the law. How did you get interested in the law?
Well, I always wanted to have a good life for my mother, so lawyers make a lot of money, so.
They certainly do. They certainly can. There's a lot of education involved then, and if you're good at arguing and you win your arguments, probably a good career choice. Alonzo, nice to have you with us today. Tell us the Alonzo story. What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I play a saxophone, and I sing, and I read, and I go over science questions, just for fun.
I think that's great, and obviously it pays off. You're a great student. You've given some really important clues here in that first round. You're a singer. You sing gospel in your church. Tyre, you sing as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And Alonzo, what do you see yourself doing someday?
When I grow up, I would like to be a chemist or a food and drug scientist.
Wow. And we were talking earlier about how that field is so open because we're always reevaluating the things we eat and drink and take as medicine in this country. Khalil, tell us your story. You told me that you were recruited to be on the Science Bowl. Mr. Fairclough said this student is going to be very good, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you enjoying yourself so far?
Yes.
I'm glad. Tell me about your future.
I want to be an athlete, a pro athlete, or a chemist.
Or a chemist. Boy, you got some very wide-ranging interests there. Certainly after an athletic career, you could always go back to something in the sciences. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I like to play football or read.
Or read. And you like what kind of books?
Mystery.
Mystery books. Wonderful. All right. Jackson, good luck to you in the second half. Highland Park, nice to have you guys here. Highland Park got a little bigger this past year because you absorbed the Oakcrest School, which is closed, but then reopened as the Judy Hoyer Montessori Center. John, tell us about Highland Park. Who's the principal there?
Miss Robinson.
Miss Robinson is there. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Hobbs.
Miss Hobbs, and she's out there rooting for you. Any alternates on your team?
We have Joseph Stapleton.
Joseph, and he'll be out with Miss Hobbs in just a few moments.
He's not here.
He's not here today. Well, it's just the three of you, right? All right, so Miss Hobbs will come out. And we're grateful for the alternates' work. Tell us a little bit about Highland Park. What makes it a special place, John?
Well, we like the teachers and the specialists. They're really nice, and they can always find fun ways for us to learn.
Who are the specialists?
Like the media specialist, the PE specialist.
Yeah, all right, I got it. Absolutely. Yeah, the folks who have classes a little bit different from some of the other academics. I enjoy your description. John, tell us about yourself. You want to be a physicist someday, is that right?
Yes.
How'd you get interested in that?
I have a friend that kind of got me into it.
Wow, that's very nice. Yeah, friends can be good influences in so many different ways. Greg, how about you? You want to be an engineer?
Yes.
Good math, good science student. I can tell you're an all-around good guy over there. What do you do in your spare time?
What I do in my spare time, I would play my Xbox or maybe read or do my karate.
Yeah. Now, you've been doing karate for a couple years, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. How'd you get interested in that?
I got interested in it because one day this kid pushed me, and I didn't have a way to defend myself.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so now, look out, world, right?
Yes.
You don't mess with Greg anymore. I understand that. Liam, tell us about yourself. What do you like to do?
I like to read books, and I also like to play video games.
Video games, yeah? And what's that going to translate into? Do you have any career goals yet?
I'd like to either be an author or a miniature golf course designer.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. Why the interest in miniature golf courses?
I've just liked golfing, but I'm not very good at putting long distance, so I've always liked doing challenging miniature golf courses, and I think it would be neat to design one.
I think that makes eminent good sense, and there have been a lot of mini golf courses that have some really challenging holes, so I'll look forward to seeing yours someday. Let's get back into our game. Highland Park has 140, Andrew Jackson 80. Lots of points to give away. Almost all the big questions are left. We go back to the red team. Tyre, you gave us the last correct answer. Start us out again.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points, teams. The newest Cirque du Soleil show is called Totem, and it's all about this kind of science that might be called Darwinism. Andrew Jackson.
Physical science?
Not physical science. No, what kind of science are we talking about that is illustrated in Totem? It could also be called Darwinism. Yes, sir.
Evolution.
Evolution, yes. How all the changes have taken place over the millennia. All right, good comeback. Nice try there, red team. Go, John.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade, 20 points. Team question is as follows. An amphipod is a creature that has legs that are of different sizes. Amphipod. What could you tell me about a creature that is an isopod? Its name tells you about it. What is an isopod?
It has smaller legs. The other legs are the same size.
It has smaller legs and they're probably all the same size.
All the same size, absolutely right. Iso meaning the same. Good answer. Good parsing of that word there. 100 for Jackson, 160 Highland Park. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Team's question is as follows. Tropical plants do well inside your house just as ferns do, because in real life, where do they grow? Under what conditions, Andrew Jackson?
Dry, hot weather.
Not necessarily, no. Highland Park, tropical plants do well inside your house just as ferns do, because naturally they grow in areas that are what?
Warm and humid.
Shaded. Shaded. Low light levels is what we're looking for there. Because most houses, you know, there's light, but a lot of it is filtered. Try again, red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, thousands of years ago, when a meteorite crashed into Russia, it left the richest hole on Earth because the impact of that meteorite changed all of the graphite inside the hole into this very precious kind of carbon. Highland Park.
Diamond.
Yes, it's a hole full of diamonds. Industrial diamonds, but still diamonds. All right, go green.
25.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, for 25 big points. Teams, what N-initialed stage in the incomplete metamorphosis of a dragonfly are you looking at? Highland Park.
Nymph.
It is indeed a nymph, which will keep metamorphosing until it emerges as a dragonfly. A dangerous predator at that stage. Good. Thank you, Greg, for your assist on that. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, a scientist won a Nobel Prize in chemistry because he discovered new things about Alzheimer's by studying these slimy, stinging cylindrids that live in the sea and keep us from going in the water.
Jellyfish.
A red team.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, the jellyfish. Boy, there's no getting around those guys. Thank you. Good answer. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, not only is the Rubik's Cube back, but so too is this toy. It's now a long tube filled with a pound of rubber that when you bounce with it, you can go 5 or 6 feet in the air. What toy is that, Highland Park?
Pogo stick.
Yeah, there's a new improved pogo stick that you've got to wear a helmet with because you go so high. It's a thrill. Go green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, according to mythology, it was Zeus who threw bolts of this at the earth. Andrew Jackson.
Lightning.
Lightning, that's right. Ben Franklin, 250 years ago, with his kite, showed us what really happens. Go, red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Team's multiple choice question. The material that makes up cell walls and makes up wood and cotton, is it cellulite, is it cytoplasm, or is it cellulose? Which of those three makes up wood and cotton and cell walls, Andrew Jackson, for 25 points?
Cytoplasm.
Not cytoplasm, good try. Is it cytoplasm, cellulite, or cellulose that make up wood and cotton and cell walls?
Cellulose.
Cellulose, absolutely right. Good comeback. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. What plant part perfectly illustrates positive geotropism? Andrew Jackson.
The stem.
Not the stem, good try. The plant part that perfectly illustrates positive geotropism. Highland Park?
Root.
The root, that's right. Geo is gravity. Positive meaning it goes toward the gravity. Tropisms are tendencies to move toward something. Go green.
Body systems, 25.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25. Big one in that category. Teams gene therapy and chemotherapy have been shown to be successful to treat bubble boy disease. Bubble boy disease occurs when what body system? Andrew Jackson.
You're afraid of germs?
Give me more information, please.
Like you have a phobia, you're scared of germs?
No. Nope, not quite. Highland Park, bubble boy disease. They've had some success treating it with gene therapy and chemotherapy. The disease occurs because what body system fails?
Stomach.
The immune system that fights off the germs. That's why I was hoping maybe you would have gone that direction. Try again, green.
Let's get body systems for. Oh, never mind.
Yes, sir.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, it's all about colors. If you're really sick, you turn green. If you're jaundiced, you turn yellow. If you're feverish, you turn red. But if you're cyanotic, you turn this color. Highland Park?
Blue.
Blue, that's right. Cyanotic when you can't breathe. Good answer. Go. Green.
25. Let's get physical.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, because the Japanese have just synthesized number 113 of these that are found on the periodic table, they get the naming rights. They have discovered a new what for 25 points? Highland Park.
Element.
Element, that's right. Now they can join the Russians, the Germans, and the Americans in having naming rights. Go. Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, Saving Nemo just got tougher because so many people are getting these kinds of fish and putting them in their aquarium.
Clownfish.
These fish are disappearing, Andrew Jackson.
Clownfish.
Clownfish is right. Good, go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, it's official now. The hottest temperature ever recorded was 134 degrees in this appropriately named place in California. Can you tell me where the hottest temperature ever recorded was recorded? Highland Park.
Death Valley.
Death Valley, absolutely right. Formerly it was in the desert, the Sahara Desert in El Azizia, Libya. That was 133 degrees, 134. Now the all-time record. 4 questions left. Highland Park, please.
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on PBS, now that Mr. Rogers is deceased, they have replaced him with what striped feline? A little animated what? Andrew Jackson.
A tiger.
A tiger is right. Absolutely right. Thank you, Alonzo. Go, Tyer.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, even though they're not anatomically connected, it's said that the way to a man's heart is through this organ. Andrew Jackson.
His stomach.
His stomach. Make him a good meal and he's yours. Go. Red.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, Sergey Brin and Larry Page developed an algorithm to rank web pages and came up with the company that is the most famous search engine in the world. Highland Park.
Google.
Google is their company. Very rich men. 1 question left, 15 points in Science Potpourri. Your question is as follows. The idea that epilepsy might have caused the early death of King Tut is, scientifically speaking, a what? That statement is a what, Highland Park?
Theory.
It is a theory, absolutely right. We also would have accepted hypothesis. And with that, we come to the end of Science Bowl. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away.
Across America, service learning is helping students improve their grades and their communities. Service learning makes school exciting by connecting the classroom with community service projects.
Before service learning, I was just an ordinary student causing mischief during class. After service learning started, I got so involved into it, I started paying attention more, picked up my grades.
Okay, very good.
Service learning absolutely drives academic success.
Working together, students solve real problems, build new skills, and apply their knowledge in a whole new way.
The great thing about service learning is it gives you this opportunity to go out into the world and do things hands-on.
Inside the classroom and out, service learning opens new doors and brings learning to life. Service learning can make a difference in your school. Visit Learn and Serve America at learnandserve.gov to find out how.
I knew I needed help paying for college. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I used to make worksheets for my friends to do. No one ever wanted to come over. My guidance counselor told me about federal student aid, and my mom helped me fill out the free application. I got the grants and loans that made school possible. There is a way to pay for school. You just have to find it. My name is Caitlin. I'm going to be a special education teacher. I'm going to live my dream.
For years, scientists have explored remote corners of the Earth, searching for exotic substances that might help prevent cancer. At last, man has discovered a secret place where powerful remedies can actually be found. Medical research shows that a vegetarian diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can help prevent many types of cancer. Wherever you live, cancer prevention is as close as your grocery store. To learn more, call 866-906-WELL.
Welcome back. I hope you were able to keep up with these young people. They were just terrific today. We are proud of each and every one of them. They're all winners. Our final tally today is Andrew Jackson 135, Highland Park 360. What a game you guys had over there, Liam and John and Greg. Give yourselves a hand and Andrew Jackson a hand. Super playing today. Miss Linda Hobbs, very proud. We're going to see you in the next round against Laurel. I want to see some smiles over here from Khalil and Tyre and Alonzo. You guys, a whole game, you were at it, smiling the whole time. You brought a lot of pride to Andrew Jackson and your sister, your twin back there, Tara, and I know you're proud of your twin here, Tyre. Mr. Fairclough, thank you for all your work. And Miss Belton, the PTA president, is proud of the team as well. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.